Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro.
And welcome back.
Welcome back. This video is brought to you by Tom Hooper's Cats. They sent us a cat to sponsor the movie, and he's a good boy.
It came with a big box. We thought it was a screener. We were really excited, and then it was a real cat. We thought this is a clever marketing gimmick.
The trailer for The Farewell just premiered. This movie's not too much of an Oscar mystery because it premiered at Sundance and we have all the reviews. Looks great. Lives up to the hype. I can see why people are crying. I can see how it's a tearjerker. I can see how the performances, the acting in general looks great. The direction, the screenplay.
Alexander Payne. Okay? You got a little bit of comedy, a lot of quirky characters, big ensemble cast.
SAG ensemble alert.
What else, and what's the other element you have here? Cultural relevancy. Crazy Rich Asians made a splash because it was the first big movie to have all Asians in it. Now you have a real, we're getting to like the real stuff.
Crazy Rich Asians, people went, oh, this is the kind of Asian cinema we need more of.
The binoculars on.
The binoculars are on, you're looking around, oh my god, it's The Farewell, it's at Sundance.
Where's the first Black Hero Super movie? Where's the next movie where we're going to have some Asians in competition for awards? When are we going to see an Asian director? It was also based in the director's experience. I think that helps.
But overall, what is the most Oscar about this movie? It's not the Asians. Asians alone can't get it nominated. It's making people cry.
It's got
raves. It's making people cry. It's a tearjerker. It's a well-crafted movie. It's getting rave reviews. It has awards caliber performances. It's an Oscar contender. Ideally, this movie is looking for a nice package. It's looking for picture. Director, little bit of a reach, but it could get there. Screenplay, safety pick. Actress, that's right, Awkwafina, lead actress contender. You betcha, actually. People might not recognize her as like an awards performer, but sometimes people dismiss it initially, and then at the end of the year, they start nominating them. Like, remember last year, John David Washington, who is probably not even as good as Awkwafina in that movie, he got a SAG nomination.
He wasn't even that amazing in the movie. He was just good in a movie that was overall really well liked. It's more about being in a movie that's really good and just matching the caliber of that movie. And so if they like this movie that won a nomination for Best Picture, the actors are going to come along with it. You can't separate the performances from a movie. People just say Awkwafina gives an amazing, serious performance. They're all getting over the fact that she was in comedies and now she's in drama. We love that. I mean, people say she carries the movie. Like, it's her movie. There's just going to be people chanting her name throughout the awards season. She's got a fan club. People are going to want to see an Asian nomination for acting because it just doesn't happen. The other performance to consider here is the performance of the grandmother.
I watched the trailer and I said she's such a supporting actress contender. She looks like funny. She has so much screen time. She's going to be a hoot. She's going to be funny. She's like at the center of this conflict in the movie.
She plays the grandma that we can relate to. Like, we understand who that character is, and like, she just is it. And so people are like, oh yeah, that's grandma. The hollering hoot of a grandma. June Squibb in Nebraska. Need I say more?
You might need to say more. Because, however, when I read the reviews, I'm not seeing as much praise for the grandma as I feel like she probably deserves, having not seen the movie. I'm not seeing people actually be like, that actress is amazing. We need to get her nominated. I'm not seeing it.
I think it's because she doesn't have name recognition. It's
exactly. And I would compare that to The Mom in the Florida Project, for example, which was also a movie that was summer release, indie, didn't make a huge splash at the box office, one of the best movies of the year. She was so fucking good in that movie that people didn't even like notice that it was like, oh, that's the actress doing that. She got no hype. While this movie could get a nice package of nominations, I'm a little skeptical, and I'll tell you why. This happened before, where we've overestimated a movie in such a way.
No.
I will give you a good example of this right now. I will give you a good example. Fruitvale Station. Culturally relevant movie. Excellent performances. Lead and supporting you had. Could have nominated the screenplay. Didn't nominate shit. I think this movie will at least get screenplay, but they didn't nominate shit from that movie. That movie also came out in July. When's The Farewell coming out? The Farewell is also coming out in July. Why does that matter? Sure, there are a ton of movies like Mad Max or Boyhood.
BlacKkKlansman.
BlacKkKlansman that come out in the summer. But those movies, they are successful. They meet or
they
exceed
also-
expectations of the box office. But look at 8th Grade, Justin. That movie did like fine at the box office, but it didn't like most people didn't know what it was. The challenge of that is that you have to sustain hype for the rest of the year, even tramping over all the hype that goes into the fall festival circuits like Toronto. Can The Farewell do that? It really depends on how they campaign this movie. I think a lot of people are going to be rooting for it, especially with that Asian representation that people are looking to see. I think that screenplay, it looks like it'll probably get in no matter what. But if these actors are having trouble getting nominated, like if Awkwafina doesn't get in there, I don't see this movie getting nominated if you don't get any actors.
Enough of this. First of all, Awkwafina is in. Screenplay's in. I have a hard time not seeing this getting nominated for Best Picture. Coming out in July, it's going to have the hype to sustain till the end of the year because it's important. The grandma, critics could want to recognize her without the name recognition, like just trying to like hype her up. Who was nominated in supporting last year?
Sam Rockwell.
Marina Day who? You'd be a fool to not have her on your list right now.
I'm not seeing her name in the reviews enough. I think it depends on the box office. This movie may very well do well at the box office because Awkwafina is actually a pretty well-known star. But this movie cannot do Can You Ever Forgive Me levels at the box office. It cannot afford to do Beale Street.
I'm hearing Beale Street. I'm hearing Fruitvale Station.
Project.
I'm hearing all these movies, and none of which are really crowd-pleasing movies. None of those are crowd pleasers. This is a crowd pleaser. Simple as that. I don't think July hurts movies like people think it does.
It doesn't hurt the movie if the movie does well. First Man, Steve Jobs. Supposed to be Oscar contenders, shitty at the box office, not Oscar contenders. It's not about how much money it makes, it's about how well it meets expectations.
That's true. I mean, if this movie underwhelms at the box office, like, it will definitely go down in my mind. If 8th Grade did, like, really well at the box office versus, like, because it kind of did It did well per screen, per theater average was good, and then it came out in more places, and people didn't flock to it.
Listen, buddy, that's my skepticism. This movie's still on my top 10. I think it's in for screenplay. I think it's probably in for picture. I think Awkwafina I would have in. Director, I could see getting in, but the movie really has to have a lot of fucking hype there. I think A24 would be very wise to put a lot of money behind this movie in their campaign.
What is this movie getting nominated for, like, no matter what? SAG Ensemble.
Oh, true.
If Crazy Rich Asians gets a SAG Ensemble nomination, you think this movie's gonna get a SAG nomination? It puts the whole movie in a great place to get nominated. I mean, if you can see those little things down the road.
This movie has like an 87 on Metacritic and an 8.7 average rating on Rotten Tomatoes within 100. People are gonna say this is like among the best of the year, and then it also being a crowd pleaser, tearjerker. I think we got ourselves an Oscar contender. Stay tuned for our Cannes recap, where we're going to talk about, obviously, Terrence Malick's A Hidden Life. 3-hour movie, we're so excited. Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. 3-hour movie, we're very excited. Rocket Man, very curious to hear the response out of that movie. But stay tuned to talk about all the movies that get hype at Cannes.
Farewell.